One viewer asked, what is the best opening for me? I play the Spanish, but what shall I do after e4? In this video, you are going to learn your options and we are going to examine them together.
Game over.
Here is my first tip. If you like to learn some openings, you can go on Lichess. This is completely free website, and after that you can click here to see the menu. You can go on Tools, and after that Opening Explorer. There you can see a lot of different options. Lichess have some tricks actually. There are some annotations in each of moves, and you can go through and you can search a lot of openings. The problem actually is what to choose, because we have a lot of different varieties of moves. This is tip number one. You can go on Lichess and check it by yourself. In this video I'm going to show you how to select, and I'm going to show you something else. In order to not be hollow, empty inside, you can go on my website. After that, click on all courses, and from this new menu, new page, you can click categories, and there you can see different options. You can go on school actually, and then you can find training program. In this training program I separate it in different categories in order to be easier for you, and you should follow it in order to improve your strategical and tactical ideas behind them. It is separated at 800, 1000, 1100, etc. And you can learn a lot of things there, a lot of interesting strategical ideas. Before learning specific and concrete ideas in the opening, you should know what is the sender, how to break in the sender, how to develop your pieces, how not to move the same piece twice, and other things like that. So let's go. After the move e4 and e5, this is a very popular and solid move. It's very sound move. But if you are a busy person, or you are not invest a lot of time in the opening, maybe this is not good for you. And at the end of the video I'm going to provide a lot of good solutions. Here, after the move e4, e5, we have the King's Gambit. The idea behind that one is to remove this pawn. For example, after this, white can play something like that to avoid the check here, and after this he can play d4. Now he controls the sender and he would like to capture this pawn, and after knight c6 he can take. For example, I'm continue with some random moves here in order to illustrate the point, and you can see here has a fantastic development, very easy development, and he has the open f line. It is a semi-open file. He has the bishop and rook there. The knights can jump forward at the right moment. He can push this pawn or the other pawn, so he has some attacking possibilities. Let's jump to YouTube channel. Here is Remote Chess Academy YouTube channel, and if you go on videos, and then if you click to find the most popular videos, actually you can see my videos here in position number 6, King's Gambit. So if you try to play e4, e5, then you have to face something like King's Gambit or the Bishop Openings. Igor's create this video. I'm going to create a similar video soon, so stay tuned on my channel to see something like that. But you can see King's Gambit, I created this video. It's extremely popular, this one. Another opening that you are going to face after e4, e5 is the Vienna opening. What is all about? Vienna is delaying one move, so you have to develop something here, for example this one, and after that he's going to play something like King's Gambit. He would like to play f4, but he already developed the knight. This is the main idea, and again the ideas are similar. He would like to put the bishop there, knight there, castling short side, and create some attack on f7. For example, what will happen after this? For example, takes, d4. It's an illustrative example, this one I selected for you. We can play this one, and after the natural bishop to b4, we pin the knight in order to attack this one. White can protect the pawn, and after a normal development like this, in order to liberate the bishop, white can castling short side. Now we have some other ideas. Black castled, and now bishop g5. This knight is pinned right now. We can play maybe this move, knight d5 is on the air. Maybe he can remove the knight and destroy your pawn structure, and you can see already black has some problems. During the game he played h6, takes, and now knight to d5. The queen and bishop are under attack, and after this he just lost the bishop. So it was another problem. Now what is about the bishop's opening? The bishop's opening is something similar to knight c3. He is waiting black's next move, and he can transpose to Vienna opening, to king's gambit, to two knight defense. We have some transpositions there. It's a very nice move order to select this one. You are developing the bishop, and then you can select. For example, after the very normal move bishop to c4, here white have a trick, and the trick is d4. We can capture this one, and now black has already, he will face a lot of problems after this check. Bishop takes f7, king takes, double attack against the king and the bishop, and after that we can capture the bishop, and black has white has a fantastic position, very good position here for nothing actually. He didn't do anything at all. Let's move forward. The next one is Ponciani opening. Ponciani is, after these normal moves, is c3, and I'm going to provide you to see how much theory you should learn here. And after c3, the idea is to play d4 actually to attack in the center. And after this normal move, white played this one, black played d6 in order to protect that pawn, and he would like to threaten the other one. And after bishop to e2, this is a trap, black fell into the trap. He just captured the pawn, and now he is losing, because after d5 the knight has to remove this knight, and then we have a double attack against the knight and the king. Here is my personal database on my computer, and if I go on my repertoire, and after that e4, we have the many replies here. e5 is one of them, and here we have the theory. This is my file. I separated and created this for my own purposes, to learn this opening, to use it. We didn't analyze Danish openings. We have many other things actually. You see, the file is extremely big. We have Petrov, we have Ponciani, as we see in the king's gambit, the four knights, a lot of interesting moves. Scots opening, you have to learn this as well here. And if we scroll down, you can see many more, like Evans. We're going to see the Italian game, or we have the Spanish. And in Spanish we have the Berlin, we have the exchange, we have the world attack, we have the Marshall, we have open Spanish, and we have a key systems here. So you have a lot of things to learn in this e5 opening. And now let's move forward to see the Evans Gambit. The Evans Gambit is here when white played this move b4. Evans tried to attack your bishop to distract from this d4 square. He's sacrificing a pawn in order to attack now and strike in the center. And things can go very wrong here. After queen to e7, for example, is another game that I found. Try to protect this pawn. We have d4, d5, the knight drop back, and short castling. Now black just put this very typical move in order to liberate the bishop and create a pin here against the knight, but already he lost the game, because white has this very nice double attack, attacking the king and the bishop. So white is completely winning here with an extra piece. Let's move forward. Another system that you should learn after this, we're not going to see Evans Gambit again, but we have the Italian. And here after knight c6, the modern players play this one, d3, because they would like to avoid the long theoretical lines. They would like to develop his pieces first and then to play a slow game. Actually, if a strong player play with you, and if you are not a good rated player, then he's trying this one, d4, try to attack instantly your bishop and the knight. And black here can capture a pawn like this, and now we have a check. This is the theory. Knight here, knight takes, and we'll already capture a pawn. We pin that knight, but white can castle. He just sacrificed a pawn, and now you have some options. Are you going to play d5? Are you going to take with a knight or with a bishop? There are a lot of things that you should know here. And after this, for example, white is not going to recapture back the bishop here, but he's going to play d5, and now this knight is under attack, the bishop is under attack, and maybe queen can jump here on e2, pinning that knight, and you are still in the center of the board. So the positions are difficult to handle. During this illustrative game he played knight a5, tried to counterattack the bishop, and after queen d3, not only protecting the bishop, attacking this one and attacking the knight with check. We have knight to d6, because we are attacking this one, and black was happy because after that he just captured something, and it looked like that knights are protecting. However, it's not protecting the g7, and now the game is over because the rook is under attack, the rook on e1 is coming, the bishop g4 is coming, and black has a lot of problems here. He cannot defend himself actually after that moves. Now let's jump forward to Spanish, and after these first moves here, white can play this Spanish bishop on b4, and after that I'm suggesting you with white pieces to capture here and exchange variations, but let's look at the main line actually, because white is not forced to capture there. And after this, and here we have the wall attack. I already beat a lot of players with this move. It's a very nice move because we put this one over protecting the pawn, short castling, rook to d1, c3, d4, and black will have problems if you don't know what to do exactly. For example, after this we have c3, here bishop drop back, now bishop to e7, castling, and rook d1. He played this to pin the knight, but d4 in any case, because we already protect this pawn twice, and we're threatening to go there, we're threatening to capture, maybe to put the bishop on d5, and we are creating some problems. He just captured, recaptured, but now black has more problems, because white have a mobile center. He can push either of the pawns, e4 on d5, anything he would like. He can develop the knight, and he has more space. h6 to avoid that pin or to overprotect the knight, and we have this. He went back, and e5. He went back in order to keep the position close, but now we have bishop to d5. The knight is pinned actually and under attack, so queen e8 and queen e4. You can say this knight is heavily pinned, and white is threatening to win the exchange here on a8. So black tried to do some tricky move, bishop to g6. However, tactics are not working if you don't have good position. You should have sound position, and then the tactics will work. Now white is winning, and white's move is queen takes d6. Because this pawn is pinned, cannot capture the queen here, the bishop pinned that pawn, and after this move he just captured another pawn, and now he is threatening checkmate, and black cannot do anything at all. I can feel you can say, okay Angelo, you are creating a lot of problems, what can I play? And here it's my suggestion, what you should play with white pieces. For example, after e4, e5, you can choose the Spanish opening, this one, and here you can take the knight, because it's something very simple. You can take there, and after that you can play d4, and after all of these exchanges you can play this endgame, this strategical endgame, because you have 4 pawns against 3. Step by step you can castling short side, and you can start pushing your pawns forward. This is a nice variation, and you are not going to lose instantly, right? The problem actually is that black, maybe they can equalize if he knows a lot of theory. It's not so difficult for black to equalize, but the position is completely playable. You can play this one. Another system here, after the French opening, actually you can go here on d4, and after that you can take. This is the exchange French, and your next moves are very easy. You can put the knight there, the bishop there, you can castling short side, maybe the bishop can go on a4, and then you can decide. The position is not so dry. You have some ideas here, because if you like to complicate a little bit the matters, you can play something like c4, and this can complicate the matters because you can end up For example, here, let's say, you can end up with this isolated queen pawn, but you have more activity. This little more dynamic approach. Or you can do it slower. You can play something like b3 and later to play something like c4. Or you can keep it like that, play something like c3 and play a very, very solid position. So you have a lot of options, but you're not going to lose instantly. And last but not least, we have the Sicilian here. You're going to face Sicilian for sure, and I'm suggesting you the Grand Prix attack. You should play knight c3 in order to avoid this this d5 idea, and after that you can play f4. The white's plan is very easy. He can play knight f3, bishop b5 for example, d3, castling short side, and then he can decide. He can push e5 or f5 according to the situation. It's a very easy and very nice, a very playable system for white. Let's flip the board now and see how can you react after e4. This is a very aggressive option, a very aggressive move actually, and white would like to create a complicated situation in order to attack instantly. Here I'm suggesting you the d5, the Scandinavian defense, because after this exchanges a knight here, queen a4, the system is very easy and the setup is very, very easy. After that you have to pin the enemy knights and capture them. You just pin that one, and after this you can play e6 for example, there pinning the other knight. And your next move here are very easy. You can capture the knights in the appropriate moment. You can play c6, knight here, knight there, castling short side or long side, and everything is just fine. You have a very solid setup and you can play this position easily. If you just learn this basic system on Scandinavian, then you can move forward to more complicated systems like Caro-Kann. We can face this setup actually in some Caro-Kann lines, and you already know them, so this is very nice. If your opponent plays something like d4, then I'm suggesting you the Benko Gambit. Try to attack the center instantly, and after d5, the most logical move, because after d4 white would like to keep the position close, we win more space, this is his idea. You can start attacking him instantly with the move b5. This is a very easy system because it has a very easy setup. For example, after that we can sacrifice a pawn. I'm illustrating the idea. Take, and now this d6. Here you can fianchetto your bishop actually there. This is the fianchetto with the bishop on g7. You can castle it short side. You can see how secure your king is, and after this you can put the knight on d7, connecting the rooks, and put the rook on b8. This is a very sound position because you just sacrifice the pawn, but a lot of tactics are in the air actually, a lot of tactics. And for example, you can play knight g4 or knight e5. This is one idea, and the other idea is to connect the rook and the bishop to attack this pawn on b2, or maybe you can increase the position, the pressure like this, knight to b6, knight c4, so you have a very sound and easy playable position. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it's time for action. This is the initial page of my website, and here you can click Give me access to get access to free lessons. You can read this page, and if you scroll down, here you can add your name and your email. After that, you're going to take a free lesson how to avoid chess blunders. So, time for action is now, and you're very welcome to join my mail list.